So what are the most effective questions you could ask in an interview? There are hundreds of questions you could ask, right? Many. You could go to ChatGPT, Grok, and just find all kinds of questions. But my life experience has a simple way of what to ask. And generally, the most effective questions are questions that would affect the outcome of your interview. So let me say it again. The most important questions are questions that are affecting your interview at that moment. If you keep that in mind, then you would know that asking a lot of logistical questions may not necessarily be the wisest because you want to differentiate yourself. For example, let me give you a very good example of a good question to ask during a face-to-face or a video interview. At some point of the interview, the earliest the better, but at some point of the interview when they give you that opportunity to ask, I would ask something like that. Hypothetically, if this position is offered to me and I accept the offer, the top 3 most important goals that I need to accomplish for you, for the firm, for the company, let's say within my first 6 to 8 months of my employment, that indeed, if I accomplish those 2 to 3 goals, you all can come and pat on my shoulder and say, hey, Elliot, you did it. Great job. Now, let's just stop for a second. This is like you're asking for the answer to the quiz. You want to know what are their expectations of you, okay? And that would give you ammunition to talk more about your relevant experience in connection to their goals, which is going to affect your interview, versus how many salesperson, how many managers, how many, those are important. Mostly they probably reveal those to you, but ask strategic question. Another great question, a follow-up to that is that, if you look around other employees, other managers, other sales, other accountant, depending on what your position is, and they have been with your company for, let's say, 5 years, how do you describe them? What are their characteristics? What made them to stay with the company for 5 years? Open-ended questions so they can elaborate and explain to you how their brain works. So ask them something that, again, affects, that is in a direct correlation to you being present in that interview. And then listen, and again, use those information to be more elaborative or use parallel example that you have done things like, oh, funny you said that. Then you would explain some of the things they said that is direct correlation with what they see as an ideal candidate.